know sleep is friends with death, but maybe I should get some rest, 'cause I've been out here working all damn day.
You are the man of the hour these days. Like I've seen you everywhere. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you look at TikTok now that you have like this platform where people look at you and they connect with you?
I guess the way I see TikTok recently is just, I think for a while I had a relationship with it where I would get frustrated because it was kind of hard to relate to people and be myself. And something clicked where I guess it was one, the new music I was writing was very like super genuine and authentic to myself. So putting that out there, plus just this kind of, that was the first thing, putting out genuine music, and that was really authentic to me, because then people would hear the music and see me and it would make sense. And then I guess on top of that, I've just tried to be really casual with social media, and just kind of, if I have an idea, I'll just put my phone down and film something that was the idea. And I think there's something to that casualness and spontaneity that creates something that feels authentic, or that is authentic and therefore feels authentic, as opposed to like manipulating this idea and being like, I'm going to make a video that does this. And then, because when you overthink it, it quickly becomes not authentic to you, I feel like. And I think that's the name of the game for all of it. Just like being who you are and being your true self, and people relate to that no matter if it's in person or on a screen.
And one thing that you post that I absolutely love is when you're touring and you go on the streets and you like play with your fans. Is that something that you always wanted to achieve when you decided to be an artist, to have that type of connection with the people that listen to your music?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We were able to do this thing on the last tour. So I just came off my first headline tour ever. So which was really exciting, and we sold it out, which was more than I did, which was so insane. We were in like Europe and UK and the US. And one of the things that happened was we had to like cap the tickets at a certain point, but people were still interested in getting tickets. So I wanted to reach all the fans that I could, since I was going to be out on the road. So we were like, let's do pop-up shows, like shows right before the actual show, where we can just invite fans to come right in front of the venue, and we'll sing a couple songs and we'll meet them. So I would go on Instagram and I'd announce that, and I'd say where we were playing, and people would show up. And we had like a few hundred people in a lot of these places just showing up outside of the venue and like singing Good to Be and singing Belong Together. And
I don't know if you heard, but the 30 Seconds to Mars were just in Portugal a couple of days ago.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
they did a pop-up show also, like in the streets of Lisbon. They were just like walking around, Jared Leto with his guitar, and just like people following around. And the first thing I thought when I saw was like, oh, Mark should do this too. Like when he comes to Portugal, it would be so cool.
When I come to Portugal, which hopefully is pretty soon, I promise I'm doing that. It's honestly some of the most fun that I had in Europe was doing those shows, because they're so spontaneous and you have no idea really what to expect. And it just feels like you're part of something that feels, I don't know, like very unique.
Got all my anger bottled up, a drop away to fill that cup, but anymore and I might go insane.
Your songs are also one of the reasons why people like show up. They're so uplifting and just good vibes in general. So where do you get your inspiration from? Any specific artists, or just like something in your life that inspires you?
I forever have been a massive fan of Coldplay, who I think is super big in like Portugal, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I guess they're big everywhere, but specifically,
yes.
I love the like energy they create in their live shows, and how they've evolved in each album, but they still have like their, Chris Martin's the through line and all that stuff. But they're kind of probably my favorite artist or band of all time. But along with them, I also first fell in love with music when I listened to like Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers and Vance Joy, and that kind of like little folky movement that's kind of come back. So I like all music, and I consider myself like a pop artist first, because I just like big anthemic like sing-along songs. But yeah, those are some bands that have inspired me.
You and me belong together like cold iced tea and warm the weather.
I have this game that I want to play with you, if that's okay.
Oh,
So I have a list of things that usually happen during summer, and I want you to tell me if it's a vibe or it's not a vibe. Like, if you like to do these things or not.
Okay.
So let's start. Okay, so staying at the beach till 9 p.m.
Yes, vibe.
Good. And long road trips.
Vibe. I actually did a cross country trip with my two best friends from home in the US. We went from like New York to California and like weaved through all these states. It was really awesome.
And barbecue with friends.
Yeah, vibe. These are all amazing. These are all good activities.
So going to the beach but not going for a swim.
I feel like not a vibe. I feel
Right.
if you're unless it's really cold, which is like, then why are you at the beach? I'd say not a vibe.
But the feeling of like salty skin, you know, like when you put your t-shirt back on.
I don't like the skin part, but I like the way my hair feels.
Right. So it's like half a vibe.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
And finally, okay, cold iced tea on warm weather.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Vibe.
That's the vibe. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you so much.